you guys.
I've been seeing that. People have basically been saying they're giving a new name to what trafficking is. I definitely consider what he was doing, holding his rendezvous, his snafus against their will, at times. But at times, like the evidence has shown, they wanted to freak off. They wanted to get down, but to get down at times. Not at the times when he was acting off his rocker, busting people, pistol whipping them, hitting them in the face with elephant trunks and shit. If you know, stuff like that. But, allegedly, but they say the brother got the Tootsie Roll pop, whatever they call it. But long story short,
messed up though. No, I'm gonna stop you though. No,
talk to me, Council. Talk to me.
Okay, so Cassie was saying he got a Tootsie Roll, but then I'm gonna ask you this though. So if he got a Tootsie Roll, that time when she claimed that because this is what happened. How's it going, Kai? Oh, Polly right here.
Hey, Polly. I hope you don't mind. I'm streaming simultaneously.
Oh, cool. I'm usually on the low key, but I'm so cool if you want to stream up. You want to do that. Man,
yeah, so more people.
Yeah. So hey, I don't care.
Talk to me. Good, get in, go in. Hey, EJ.
Hey, so no, but listen to this though, right? Imagine this: some Diddy just knocked down your door, come in your house, right?
Let's give context that he has been paying for, but that doesn't take away that doesn't mean he allowed to knock down your door and smack.
No, I'm not talking about Jane. No, I'm talking about Cassie. Cassie.
Oh, okay, yeah.
She was with Alex Fine. Right? So imagine this. One day, Diddy just woke up in your house, kicking your door, woke up in your house and rapes you. Says nothing, leaves. That's what she said. Says nothing, leaves. Short time later, probably like a couple of days, a week or two later, you get to call him on the phone and you find it appropriate to go out with him, right? And then you also find it appropriate to have sex with him. And while you're having sex with him, Alex Fine, your boyfriend, is FaceTiming you. Was that a choice? Kai? Kai, you on mute.
Oh, Lord, I'm sorry. Oh, Lord, that is, to answer your question, that is a choice. That is a choice, and that makes it questionable about, I don't want to question her psyche, but it does make you question some things. Like, why would you go? To answer your question, it is a choice. It's a choice. Hey, Polo Princess, aka D's 3. She was given a little Polly, yeah. That's what was the lady in question's name again? To give them context.
Cassie, that's what she Cassie testified to that on cross-examination. So basically, in Cassie's lawsuit that she was going to have her civil suit, she put in that moment, that time where he came into her house unannounced and whatever and raped her and just left her just lying there, right? But what she didn't talk about was the fact that she came back. She ended up talking to him on the phone and decided to meet up with him, go out with him, have a beautiful day with him, because that's what she texted him. She said she had a good time with him. And they ended up having sex, and Alex Fine was actually FaceTime calling her during that time while they were having sex. So that's for one. And then I also think and then it's not even victim shaming, it's just being honest. And I think that a lot of females, if you're in a situation where you're dealing with Alex Fine, right, and you're coming from an abusive situation, Alex Fine hates P. Diddy. So why would you sit there and look at your man in the face, right, and be like, look, I cheated on you with P. Diddy twice? You would never do that. So the first time you are going to say, when it happened, right, the first time you are going to say something else other than how it actually happened, right? So I don't feel like he took advantage of her. I feel like they had consensual sex twice.
It is complex. At some point in time when she went back to him, obviously she must have been conflicted in who she wanted to be with. I would say this, her now husband Alex Fine, looking back and listening back on this, obviously he's gonna feel betrayed, and the emotions are all rekindling in her mind and in his mind, and she's probably in fear at this moment in time. But I still have to stick to my initial thoughts. You do not mix business with pleasure at any moment
No, you
in
don't.
time. You don't do that. And as the mother's that it was the mother's duty to express that, baby, you don't do that. You have to draw the line in the sand because things can get ugly. I'm not saying her trauma and her abuse was justified because she got in a relationship with her boss or whatever. I'm just saying you have to protect yourself and put the boundaries up at the. Thank you, these three. I'm doing a quick collab with my girl Dazzle. So this is a impromptu live, and I appreciate y'all for stopping by. And I love this conversation. We need conversations like this. We're not trying to bash, blame, or do any of the sort, but we got to talk about the evidence that is at hand. And this was at hand. So what was you saying, Dazzle? I didn't mean to talk over.
Okay. And just to be real, I'm going to tell you guys, because I'm very honest on my channel.
Yes, trigger warning. Trigger warning.
I was in a domestic violence situation, right? And even with Cassie was never actually legitly his girlfriend, right? They just had a thing with each other that was a bond, and they were kind of like what did you call, not protective, but when you feel like this is your property or something, they was like that towards each other. And like at one point, because she was the other woman to Kim Porter. Okay.
Right. I would call it a situationship.
Yeah, so I was in a situationship that felt like a relationship that was not a relationship. And there was domestic violence in it. And there was sexual abuse in it.
My goodness. And I'm sorry you had to experience that.
I'm glad I experienced that, because guess what? Ain't nobody else gonna treat me like that.
Right. You can learn from it. You know the signs. Yes.
Yes. So what I ended up doing was, by the end of it, now mind you, I'm only hard on Cassie because I actually kind of did a Cassie. You know how she stopped talking to Diddy and then started talking to Alex Fine, the person that she ended up marrying.
Yeah.
That happened over here.
How could you? But some might say, Dazzle, how could you hold her feet to the fire when you experienced that
first? Because you know what? I have a big family of women and men, right? I'm gonna tell you, I'm getting to it. I'm gonna tell you how it happened, and it made me realize a lot of stuff. And I'm like, well, as pro women, we do have to hold each other's feet to the fire to an extent. Not what happened to you, but to an extent, right? Because I ended up meeting my husband by dumping my situationship, right? Period. Right? So what ended up happening was he decided, because he had a narcissistic rage, he decided to go on Facebook, call me all types of hoes and sluts and da-da-da, the whole nine, angry ex, don't want to let go, want to treat you like shit, but don't want you to leave, that type of stuff. And basically, when I was done, I was like, I ain't got time to talk to you, ain't never look back, right? But my folks seen it because he edited me, right? So both my grandmas and my uncles and my great aunts had a long conversation with me. and they was pretty much, I'm laughing about it because I'm not in it no more. You can laugh about stuff. A lot of times I laugh, right? So pretty much they understood what I was going through as far as the abuse and stuff. But also that accepting certain shit that you don't have to accept, that part was on me too. I didn't have to accept
I love how you are taking accountability for what you put it partook in, and I love that for you. Do you
and
think that? So let me
certain,
ask
and
you
certain
this:
things
do
I
you think
did.
that?
I cannot say
Mm-hmm.
like the first time it could have been coercion, but all the other
Yeah,
time I wasn't coerced.
right. When you chose, okay. So let me ask you this: when you chose to go back, it wasn't that you were. Do you still believe that you were under the coercion spell, or do you believe that you made a decision, just like Cassie made a
I
decision
made a
to
decision
still
based on
partake?
childhood trauma. I made a decision
Okay,
based on
yeah,
childhood
yeah,
trauma. You can have a childhood trauma response in your relationships or your situationships. So basically, I had an issue with people. First of all, I don't have to keep explaining myself to the world, right? And I used to explain myself a lot to people that I didn't need to explain myself to. So I'll find myself explaining and stuff, and I never had to explain shit. You're not even my real boyfriend. That's for one. For two, I found myself wanting to be liked, right? And I had to figure out I don't have to be liked by everybody, right? And then I also had like an abandonment issue. So I was sit beside somebody who I know ain't shit, and everybody's telling me he's treating me like shit, and I'm agreeing, yeah, he's treating me like shit. But I have this abandonment complex. And then I also felt like, well, I want this. It was a bit of competition because he was still messing with his baby mama. So now I'm competing with his baby mama. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of stuff was my choice. Some of it
yeah,
wasn't.
yeah,
And then I look at
yeah.
Cassie's situation and I can pinpoint what was her choice. She was competing with Kim Porter. Why are you competing with Kim Porter?
Because that's how Diddy played into her mind, and
But no, but
into
you
her.
never had to. But is that a her? Is that his? Here's my thing, though. Because at the end of the day, we have our own minds too.
True this, true that.
So my whole thing is, and it's not me like being a victim shamer. It's just that I just kind of really feel like at some point you yourself was a part of the circus willingly at some point. And it's okay to say, yeah, I was a part of the circus willingly at some point. It's okay to say that. Even though the circus was some bullshit.
Yeah,
Look
because
at
where was she
Krishan
gonna?
Rock
And
right
it's
now.
not like she fought to finish her album deal, baby. How you only gonna do one album? Do be a one hit wonder and don't finish what you signed on the dotted line to do. Although that's how you got. That's where people are also taking in consideration. Did she really go in there to do music wholeheartedly? Was that her passion, or was she using it as a leg up? And ultimately,
You know what I
that
think? She was
ultimately
one of those people who wanted to be in multiple industries because she was a model, right?
right,
And
right, right.
what's his name? And they got a song. She wanted to start working on music and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she started doing that, and then mind you, she was still messing with that guy that was older, right? When she decided
Mm-hmm.
to
The
start
dude,
hooking up
oh right,
with
right, right. I forgot that man's name. She was attracted to older men, and that could be a trauma response as well. Some might
yeah,
argue.
yeah, daddy issues to be honest.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, just keeping it a stock. It can be something like that, right? Because they tend to say that you date people with attributes of your father. Like if you're a female and if you're
Yes,
a
that
male,
is a
you
fact.
might date people with attributes of your mom.
Yes, if you're a guy. Yep, yep, yep.
And then if
I
you're
have heard
climbing
that
up the
before.
social ladder, because that's what she was doing, she stopped talking to him to talk to P. Diddy. Look what P. Diddy
Mm-hmm.
had to offer over the other guy, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
and then to the point where she really wanted to climb it, and that's not me being whatever, because if you young, you in the game, you in the industry, you trying to get everything the industry has to offer for you. Hey, I'm like, go for it, man. Climb that social ladder. Do whatever you got to do. I am not hating you for that, right? But she did sit there and create a fake flyer of saying that she had an appearance in Miami. Remember that?
I do. I
Yeah,
do.
she created a fake flyer, had that man thinking that she was out in Florida, doing an appearance and working. Whole time she was working on that yacht with P. Diddy.
Well, Cassie was sipping and doing it. You know what they like to say, what they like, just like Diddy was zipping it and doing it. You know what I mean?
Hey,
So
and I
it
don't
was
even
definitely a
mind that.
situation shit. It definitely was a situation shit that I definitely think that Cassie regretted towards the middle and towards the end.
Yes, I think she did
And
too.
but she did, and even in that message, hey Trip, what's going on with you? Good to see you. Salute to you.
Hey,
And I
you
do.
guys.
She truly regretted it. She at some at times she regretted it, and at some times she wanted to freak off, just like the messages said. She was ready for a freak off. So I would definitely say that Diddy had his sinister moments, but we have to choose. We have to, you just like you say, you got to take accountability to what we go back to, especially after we're done wrong and we have autonomy at times. Some might argue that Cassie had autonomy at times, and she didn't take advantage of the autonomy that she did have when she had it. Because what some might argue, she was trying to get a leg up, and some might argue she didn't know no better. She didn't have any place to go. But when you're making royalties and you making money for yourself,
Hey,
you
when you
should.
out there, you out there. I mean,
You
shit. When
know,
in Rome,
you
do what Romans do. I think that's what she was doing. When in Rome, do what Romans do. And
know.
it, but the only thing that tripped me out and was kind of telling, and I think that really did play. I really do, because honestly speaking, the jury are everyday people like me and you. So
Yeah,
when someone
yes.
tells you after
They said the
everything,
jury wasn't cooperating.
yeah, because they was conflicted on a lot of stuff, right? Because
Yeah, yeah.
the truth is, you have the sex thing, but is it really RICO? Is it really racketeering? If you really look at it, is it really racketeering? But that's what they was being
By
confused
the
about.
definition, by definition, no.
So that's what they were being confused about, right? So they was really confused about count one, which is the RICO, the conspiracy to commit RICO. They was really fighting over that, which means that a lot of them was like, nah. And some of them was like, yeah. So that's what they were truly fighting over, count one. Um, but to be honest,
Well. I might. By the definition of racketeering, they said a criminal enterprise that uses illegal means to generate profit, often involves a pattern of criminal activity such as extortion, fraud, bribery, or illegal acts carried out by an organized group. It's debatable. It's definitely debatable because some might say that Diddy used his enterprise, his group. I'm not going to say he had illegal funds because Diddy already was established and accomplished by the time he met Cassie. So he could have used the money in his damn savings account. But they did use evidence that he used people from his team to,
do certain stuff.
yeah, do certain things. So it's definitely debatable
Yeah,
with the
because
rap.
they didn't hit him with the full charge. They hit him with conspiracy. And if it's going to
Right.
be a conspiracy, that means people have to know what they're doing. They have to be in cahoots with the criminal enterprise. That's what they were saying as well. So I'm like, well, did people just sit down and say, I'm going to do something that I know is illegal today? Did people sign up for that? I don't think they did.
No, yeah, in that part, I think it was a very impromptu. Sometimes it was impromptu, but Diddy obviously had these things premeditated. But the people, after a while, if you're already on contract, you can't just say, "Hey, I'm not doing it." You are on contract to do certain shit, and you don't want to breach your contract. So it doesn't necessarily mean it was a conspiracy to all. They knew what they were signing up to do, produce certain stuff for the freakos. You know what I'm
But
saying?
you know what killed me though? What killed me is when Jane Doe, Daphne Joy, was telling him she don't want to do this and don't want to do that. She don't like the freak offs, whatever, woo, woo. And then turn around and one day go with her friend, what was it, to Vegas? And go to it was a birthday party. They went to the strip club. Then they went to the hotel, and it was a suite. And inside the suite, they were having a freak off. And then not only that, she actually referred one of her entertainers to them. And then not only that, she neglected on cross-examination. It was found out that she was with that freak off too. She was showing her titties and everything. That kind of tripped me out a little bit. So I'm like, well, how the hell you don't like freak offs, but it seemed like you had a good time at that freak off that day?
Lord, see, but I heard that the daughters didn't want Jane Doe number 2 on the on there.
And then also think about it too. How the hell? I mean, because you know you're gonna have to look at the freak off tapes, right? That's what the jury they had to do. They was watching those tapes, those sex tapes. And
I know they was traumatized.
They was watching them, and you know what's crazy? Now this is how it works against the prosecutors. If I'm watching the tape and you guys are telling me, no, I didn't want it. It was so forced, right? And you're watching these freak off tapes and they riding it like a stallion. They got one in the mouth, riding and everything, twirling and that shit. All types of shit.
Giving that throaty bodie. That throaty bodie and that gawk 3000.
Like, here, right here, daddy, right here. Hold on. Smack my face. Give me a shower, baby. Give me a shower. And they watching that and looking at you, telling them that it was forced, and they're watching this, and then
Cassie was picking the brothers out like catalog motherfuckers.
Man, they was lining them motherfuckers up. Don't lie. Them hoes was lining them up.
Listen, wait a minute. How you feel about the ex-escort, the Punisher, saying his testimonial helped Diddy beat sex trafficking charges? Justice was done.
Okay. So what you talking about? Freezer meat, right? The one that.
Oh Lord, that's what y'all nicknamed him.
That's what he nicknamed. That's what he named his book. I mean, he came out and said he was talking about freezer meat because he couldn't stay up. So you know he got stirred
with that freakiness. See, I'm not with that freakiness. I
was in this case real close. He said he got
know nothing about no freezer
to keep it hard, and now he coming out with a book called Freezer Meat.
Man, listen. Anyway, they could capitalize off some shit. You know, it's the shock value. It's for the shock value of it all. I get it. I think that's what they call him. His name is Sheree Hayes. He agrees with the jury's verdict in Diddy's federal trial and believes the testimonial played a role in the outcome.
Yeah, it did. And then a lot of them was getting caught up. You know, and then whole time, isn't it funny how most of the witnesses for the prosecution was Cassie's friends?
Say that again?
Most of the witnesses that was given testimony for the prostitution. I mean, I said prostitution. Prosecution. God. Prosecution was actually Cassie's friends. What? And they were talking to each other before, during, and after the trial. They were not supposed to be conversing about the case during the trial and stuff like that. They were still on the phone talking to each other.
I heard that one of the women that came to testify, I don't know if it was Dawn or not, I believe it was her, that her and Cassie, they ain't really cool no more. Okay,
I'm gonna tell you. One of the women, Mia, right? Mia done said, now, so this is some of the inconsistent stories, right, that happened. Mia said that Diddy raped her 3 times, right?
Oh my god! Oh my god! Trigger warning, y'all. Trigger warning.
Because I'm gonna keep it honest. I mean, I don't have no cut cards. Look, she said he raped her uno, dos, tres times, right? The first time was his birthday. He put his hand up her dress, right? She let it go because she thought, well, he was just having a good time and it's just fun. It was just him being drunk or intoxicated or high, and it was just fun, right? So we're just gonna let it go. That's what she thought. Then the second time, those times, she was in the employee part of the home or whatever. She was asleep on her bunk bed and she woke up and he was on top of me. How he died? On top of me. He was on top of me.
You know what? Don't do that, Dazzle.
And I just froze in fear. That's what she said. She was frozen in fear. And he was just riding her like Mr. Okay? You know how Mr. used to come in on Miss Seeley? And he told her, you better not tell nobody but God.
That's why I ain't finna do this with you. You know what?
So that's what happened the second time. The Trez, she was in his closet. Now you know those celebrity closets look like a whole room, right? You know they got the couch and stuff, and she just picking out an outfit for Diddy, right? And she's on her knees in the closet picking out an outfit for Diddy in this big ass closet, right? And all of a sudden she look up and there's this big BBC hanging in front of her. And
not the artificial phallus. Oh my god!
And he said, "Put it in your mouth." And she put it in her mouth, and she had no choice but to give fellatio until we finished. And he said, "Well, what happened after that?" So did he finish? She said, "Well, you know, Diddy doesn't do anything halfway through. He got to see it through." That's what she said. But then come to find out, she always had a crush on P. Diddy. And P. Diddy would tell her when they was in an argument one day, "Oh, I'm gonna tell Cassie what you did." Right? So she was like, "I was scared he was gonna tell Cassie that he raped me." Nah. You had sex with P. Diddy on the low and you was sucking his dick in the closet. Don't lie. So basically she got caught up on Mia.
Oh my god.
Then the other girl was actually Cassie's get high buddy. They were friends, okay? They was getting high on ketamine and weed before.
Talking about what about your friends?
What about your friends, right? The other girl that said she was being dangled over the balcony. Right, by her tatas. She said he held her by the tatas and dangled her over a balcony.
Now you sure about this, Dazzle? Because wait a minute. I heard.
Look at it.
I heard she did say she was hung over the balcony. This was in the court documents.
He lifted her up by the tatas. That's what she actually sat on that stand and said. She was high.
Cassie or Mia?
The other girl, not Mia, the other girl. The other girl, the high girl. What is her last name? That bungalow, whatever.
They all was getting high. They was all getting high off Diddy.
Oh, yeah. Before then, she was like, yeah, because, you know, me and Cassie would get high all the time, but Diddy had the good drugs.
I don't mean it.
That's what she said. I'm telling you what she said.
They had the bad bitch. They had that. Oh, Lord.
She said we would get so high that we would want to quit. So they was like, so what would you do to quit? We would cook. Cook? That's how you quit. What was you cooking? Drugs?
Cooking the dope in the crock pot. Smoking the dope in the crock pot.
Bad and bougie. So, so basically, she said we just get so high. Right? And she said that was the girl that said that Diddy came in out of nowhere with a knife and threw it at Cassie. And she was like, well, what did Cassie? And they was like, well, what did Cassie do? Picked the knife up and threw it back. And they said, well, what was you doing? And she said she was just sitting there. So he just walked up in the house and tossed the knife.
What in the world?
And
Yeah, some of it. Yeah, some of it was a little inconsistent in the
come on, if you
you
look.
know.
Now, what about your friends? Hey, your friends got your back. I'm gonna
The
help you.
fake Kanye was the only one up there supporting his friend.
Hey, that's
We
his
didn't even
choice.
say we didn't even see Stevie J, and that's his good friend. So
But
they say.
nah, but that friend, she was mad because Diddy would get mad at her and be like, "Look, friends don't let friends get fucked up like that because they get ha ha ha, like ha ha ha." But that was that girl. But that's crazy. Some of that
Diddy
stuff
had
is crazy as
whatever
hell.
he was doing, he wanted them to do with him. So he didn't feel bad about getting
But
high in
see,
front of
here's the
them.
thing though. Check the
See,
scene.
they
When you
should have
at the
just
freak
spoke.
off, I gotta tell you though, when you at the freak off, now here's what one of the entertainers said when he was interviewing with Armand. When he came into like the little suite and stuff, they had the little stuff. First of all, I always said this and I always thought this. They ain't gotta put drugs in nothing. I feel like the drugs is out on the silver platter. I feel like it's a waiter that walk around the room and be like, "Hey, would you like some Coke?" Oh,
Like,
whatever. I feel like
yeah,
that, right?
yeah. See, that
I
was
feel
the
like I
thing
don't
of
got
the
no drugs here.
70s. See, that was the thing of the 70s anyway. They sure would have had that motherfucking coke on a
Yeah,
silver
I
platter.
don't feel like
With
they
them
got a
mo-
drug you. I don't feel like that. You know why? Because there's a lot of motherfuckers who's willing and able to do a lot of stuff, and they probably already smoking weed. They already popping E. They already swallowing Mollies. They already
Y'all
smoking weed. They already doing all this.
popping
So
perks. Mm-hmm.
Percocet, Molly Percocet. Okay, so
Yeah.
basically, the entertainer was like, it was a table of all the drugs of your choice. You want a little Molly is there. You want some weed is there. You want some Coke is there. It was just like a platter,
You know what
like
I
a
think
little
they should
platter.
have made Diddy take a mental eval, because I bet you he most likely not to mental diagnose anyone, because I'm not a doctor, but I do think he suffers some type of bipolar or some
Yeah,
type of
because of
mental
drugs.
illness.
I think
Okay, yeah,
it's
you
not
think so?
a
That
drug use.
induced it, but
I think.
no, maybe what?
Mhm.
Because some people say he faced a lot of trauma from his childhood going to that Catholic school, and then 2 years
And
later,
mix it with
that
drugs.
motherfucker was granted. Yeah, obviously the drug induced it and caused the chemical imbalance to another level, but he may be suffering with something with a chemical imbalance due to the what he's experienced as a child and never got full adequate help about. And his ass needs to chill the fuck out. It ain't no reason why. He already had one motherfucker overdose. So we know his ass
Yeah.
like the OD and look at D and bust D and bust people over the head with D's and shit. So he needs to he just need to take a chill pill after
No,
this, because
okay. I believe you. I think it was a lot of childhood trauma, but you know what I think messed them all up, and when I mean by that's why the abuse was worse and everything. I feel like it was the drug binges that they were always on. They were on hard drug binges.
I think they embellished on that. I think they embellished on that.
No, one of
These
the
freak offs could only. I bet they could only last a week. How you a fucking CEO of companies and shit? You working with artists? We talking about in the 2000s, in the early 2000s. He was still working. He wasn't billionaire status. He was trying to do that Sean John shit. He had bread, but he was still working. He was
But
still
see, you
boots.
gotta understand though, some of that stuff, like if you the boss, if your business is up and running and it's running well, sometimes the business runs itself for a couple of days.
Yeah, yeah, I do think that he had
It's just
like
a
a
real oil
maybe
machine.
a week or so, but like
Mhm.
months on end, like like
But they
three,
wasn't having a
4
freak off for
months.
a whole month. It'll last like 72 hours or something
Then he
like that.
got kids. Then he got
But
kids.
he
The
was
kids are
always on
still
uppers
small.
too.
Like, don't if you got say that again.
Diddy was
on
always
the uppers. Yeah,
he
true.
was always there. You know what the
True.
uppers are. So he had his Diddy bag
Yeah, I
with him.
do.
Okay. So basically he always had his Diddy bag with him, his personal bag with him. And he will always be up. Mind you, he gotta do all a lot of times, a lot of like even the white girls, they take a lot of Adderall, right? To stay up.
Yeah, them
Even one of
Addies.
his assistants said that she was hooked on Adderall staying up. She take Adderall. So my thing is, they was on uppers. That's why when he crashed, those crashes were last days, and that's why he needed those IVs. Because the come down will be real crazy. But I think he was high all the time, and I think the best thing for him, just for his own life, even though he done a lot of messed up, foul stuff. I think sometimes when people are living on the edge like that, the best thing for you to do is to be locked up. Because it's technically
Right.
saving you from you. Because if you doing
Yeah.
all that, it was only a matter of time before you see rest in peace, long live Diddy, rest in peace and stuff, because he an OD and never came back.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he earned his way into jail, in prison for a while, even if it's just to clear his damn system.
And this probably did help him. He need to concentrate. This probably did help him. But it's the thing is, will he go back to his old ways? When you've been used to and accustomed to some shit, he
Now,
probably isn't getting doused and done over in that motherfucking prison right now, in that jail right now.
Kat, I'm
God
gonna tell
damn
you
it.
now, because we've been on here for like almost 2 hours. Now we got to get to the spiritual side, because this is a tarot channel.
All right now,
Do
talk to
you
me.
think? Okay, because here's the thing. I like to see, because I don't really. I think it's a fad to always talk about the Illuminati and doing blood oaths and stuff like that. I honestly think about things in a different way. Now we're talking about all these drugs, all this alcohol, mind altering things, right? A lot of times, like my grandma always tell me there's spirits in alcohol, right? That's why in the white
Yeah.
upper class, they don't have the liquor store; they have wine and spirits, right? So you got going on. You're opening yourself up when you're drunk and stuff to different types of spirits, and then you're opening yourself up when you're high too. So, do you
This
think
is
a
a
lot of
this is
times where he was being overly aggressive and demonically beating on Cassie, was he not like it could have been like possessed a little bit too? Both of them could have been.
I think that he definitely. Well, did you hear that he had a deity tattooed on him? I don't know what specific deity
Yes,
it was.
yes, uh huh.
Um, so I think that he does. It heightens some things, especially when you already are a narcissist. You're used to getting what you want. You're used to taking and getting anything you need and want at that moment. And all the drugs, the spirits, like you said, those things do occur.
Okay, so
They
the tattoo
heighten
on his back, I do want
you.
to add this though. The tattoo on his back, that particular deity deals with women, right? And you
Mhm.
have a deity that's pro women, and you're abusing women that's on your back. So technically, if we're down this road, whatever that was on his back is technically whipping his ass and riding his back.
Right, because most likely he pledged allegiance or gave a pledge of sacrifice or however they do it, however it's supposed to be said to that deity. And now you over here going against the grain, if you will, or going against the principles.
Now, then I'm gonna ask you
um
this: if that is the case, though, let's bring it into reality. Everybody got look.
it's called, wait a minute. Oh, go ahead, it's your channel. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Man, I'm gonna shut. I've been cutting you off, so I'm gonna just put this in, and I'm gonna fall
No,
back.
this your channel, damn it,
But
my
I like
fault.
hearing you too.
I do like talking to you as well. Got
So,
great convo.
So look, here's my thing though. Let's bring it into reality. A lot of people have angels that mean certain stuff on them and stuff, and they don't live that life.
Right.
If that is the case, can we say that for everybody? Because if you have an angel that's supposed to be a protective angel for the righteous and stuff, and you're not righteous, then
Well,
what
I
does
think if someone goes to the extent of getting a tattoo on them, it's symbolic to them into a certain way. It's some way, some shape, some form, some fashion. So yeah, but
because
the deity on his back, I don't know if you're familiar, it's a Haitian spirit called Izili Dantor, and also known as the Black Madonna. It's a significant figure in the Haitian voodoo. Um, is deeply associated with motherhood, protection, and womanhood. Protector of the marginalized, she is the viewer as a fierce defender, especially a woman and LGBTQ plus individuals.
then I'm gonna ask you this, right? Because people like to think
Mhm.
bad, but I like to put stuff together.
True,
At a
true,
time, he
true.
started trying
And I
to.
don't want to demonize anybody who practices,
No, 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 no. It's not about the practice. It is
those
about it, but it's
practices.
not. It's not about judging the practice. What I'm saying is,
Right.
around a certain time in the timeline, Diddy was reaching out for spiritual guidance, right? How do we know
Mm-mm.
he looked up what that deity meant and knew that he wanted to? I need to do a reading on that. Maybe it'd be a separate one, right? So basically, how do we know? And this is just a question, just throwing it out there. How do we know that he didn't want to change? But you know, when you deep in your addictions, it's hard to get out of it, right? So you go to this
Mhm.
deity wanting to treat women better, but before you can be purified, you gotta to go through the fire is to be purified. Okay? Because fire is
Yeah, yeah.
purification. So before this deity could work with you, she has to beat your ass on the account of the women that you mistreated. Mind you, Cassie is technically different races, right? So technically, some of her lineage was marginalized and things like that. Then you have the other fact of Cassie as a mother. You know what I'm saying? And then also Kim Porter, she's black, she's a mother. People forget about Misa. Misa was abused, okay? He beat her ass and she was hiding underneath of a car. So how do we know in order to be cleansed, he had to walk through fire, right? And that's just my theory. What do you think for that deity?
That's a good assessment in theory. I do think that with type of any type of violation against women or against someone who doesn't deserve something is going to face some type of they're gonna have to
Oh, Lady
pay.
Bridget.
There's
Hey,
some
Lady Bridget.
hey lady, what's going on with you? You wait a minute, Dazzle. You need to fix the layout. Try to change put me up here. I'm trying to see myself. You gotta
Oh, I
fix the
know what the
layout,
layout
Dazzle.
is. I know what the problem is. Let me see something. Let me switch. Let me do this. I
I
think I
want to
know what the
see
problem
us.
is. Because I've been trying to fix some stuff. I've been trying to do something. Come on, computer live. Let me see.
No, sing the Dazzle.
Let me see something. Let me see something. Let me
Computer.
let me go to style. What if I go ahead and do it this way? What if that works better with the little boxes? Maybe it worked better if it was boxes. We look like a
That's
box.
not.
Let me see something. It won't change. Oh damn! It changed the color, but it ain't changed the damn layout. Let me see. Come on now. But see, that's what I don't like. And I be trying to fix it, but I can't fix it unless somebody's on it with me so I can see them. I'm gonna have to do a little test.
Dang, hold on, let me see.
Let me see something.
Gonna make me hold on. Let me go log into my stream, y'all, so I can show you how to do it. Cause I'm gonna see.
Let me see something.
But yeah, go ahead, keep talking so we can get
But
into this
yeah,
thing.
you know what?
This thing.
Cause you cannot see you. I done changed all the colors and stuff. I'm painting with all the colors of the wind, child. But yeah, so I'm gonna try to fix that because every single time I want somebody on here lately, it just won't show the other person. And I'm like, well, damn, have I been alone this whole time? Let me see.
No, I'm right here. I'm right here.
No.
I don't know why. It should be somewhere like where it got like two boxes. I don't know what they call it.
Okay, let me do this. Let me try to. Let me try to. Oh, I'm gonna try to do this then. That's what I'm gonna try to do. Why is it always something? Okay, I'm gonna cancel that. Not that. That don't work. Okay. What about
We gotta
this?
do a show together more often.
Yeah, it will be fun. It'll get you off the black tea sector mess because I know you've been over there. But anyway, ooh, that's a
What
sidebar.
sector are you in? Oh Lord. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. What happened to you, Dazzle? Where you went? Dazzle, where you went? Hey, Danny Lynn, what's going on with your win? Nah, I'm just messing with you. How are Dazzle? Dazzle.
I've been trying to do too much. I'm so
Dazzle.
God said, no, you're not about to talk about. No, okay. So anyway, I'm gonna talk about it.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hello.
Yeah, you can hear me.
Yeah, I hear you now because I ain't see you. Wait a minute, where you just was. Now it should be two icons. It don't show where you. It don't give you an option where it should be two people.
You know what?
Because I just seen myself like
You
where
just
your picture is.
that's the thing. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Child, look, this is what I'm gonna do. I'll figure that shit out. See, you supposed to be on here. It changed. You supposed to be on here.
Lord, it's all right. It's all right. We're gonna figure it out another time.
Yeah,
Hey,
I figured
Danny,
it out.
thank you. Yeah, we're gonna do a show together again though. But this was an awesome conversation. Keep doing your thing, Daz. I'm gonna keep coming over, talk your shit. Danny
Hey,
Lynn, thank you for coming.
you. Yes, thank you so much.
How much how much longer you gonna be doing your show? You gonna
Oh, I'm about to end it at the 2 hour mark. So we got like 5 minutes. Yeah, about like 5 minutes, whatever. It's enough to wrap up. Thank you so much, Cultivate with Kai. He is
of
so
course.
awesome. Check his channel out. Subscribe to his channel if you're not subscribed. And if you want to subscribe to me, you can subscribe to me too. I'll be doing different types of content and this, that, and the third. And I like going live and I like talking to y'all and I like getting y'all point of view. And I just like talking mess.
Oh, that's what I want to ask you. What sector are you in? Because you said I'm gonna get out the black tea sector, and that's what a brother is trying to do, trying to get his breakthrough and break out. Look, talk to me.
Man, look, I am in the tarot reading sector, but I be scooting over to the black tea sector a lot. I be minding y'all business real bad.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You do the tarot?
Yes, I'm a tarot reader.
Is it a lucrative business,
Actually speaking,
or
you
is
know
it
what?
your passion?
Okay, so tarot can be very lucrative. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Me myself, I have my own personal clients. I get clients from YouTube. I get clients in my real life, things like that. So I'm always getting clients behind the scenes, right? So it doesn't really matter for me if I'm monetized, if I'm monetized on here or not. To be honest, me starting a YouTube channel and being a tarot reader was my hobby and my passion, and I really enjoy it. So, and I'm good at it, right? I end up being like, mind you, I was on a psychic hotline called it's called Ask the Answer. So I was on there as a tarot advisor for a minute, and then I jumped off of that because my life is busy. My real life is busy. After I go to work, I don't feel like clocking in to something else. So I end up just keeping my own
Who you
person.
was with? Ask the ancestor.
Ask the Answer.
Ask the answer.
Uh-huh.
So, do
But
you consider it a passion, or do you just
it's a
consider it a
passion.
business?
It's a passion. It's a
Okay.
passion that is lucrative. Money will
So,
find you.
best of both worlds.
Yes, money will find you. Okay.
Yes, indeed.
So honestly speaking, so how do you like? And just add though, how was your experience in the black tea sector?
It's a it is a it's an anthill. It's it has its ups and its downs. It has its joys and it has its pains of being in the black tea sector. That's all I could say about it.
Okay, so then I'll ask you this, right? Because what I do notice about the black tea sector, which is a positive, is that you guys actually form communities with each other. Like, and you guys use Discord and things like that. You guys build your base, your subscribers and stuff by forming a community. Now the down part is y'all do tend to sit there and beef and gang bang online.
They do. Some people do.
And it's
Yeah.
reminiscent of the beef sector. Now, I used to love the beef sector, right? I used to love my James Caldwell, my my Sean Bradleys, and I was all like that. And then I ended up being in the black tea sector, and I was listening to y'all, and it's like a polished version of the beef sector, for real.
Yeah, they be trying.
That's why it's easy for like a VS icon to transfer from the beef sector to the black tea sector. But I do know that you do have a good community going, and honestly speaking, what I also noticed is that
you gotta keep it small over there because they backbite.
yeah, but y'all share the same subscribers, right?
Yeah, that's the thing too. Yeah.
So it'd be funny because you see those subscribers in everybody's chat.
Right. That is
So
a fact.
like, y'all, it's like a neighborhood.
Right. It is a little neighborhood. But
the fun part about y'all though is that y'all got one of those communities that y'all gonna beef with each other. But I did notice that when some outsiders come in, y'all gang up on the outside.
You know what? That is the beautiful thing about the community in the black tea sector. That is true. When we see a foreigner trying to approach our territory, oh Lord, enemy is on the camp. You better know, you better duck, and you better have your shields up, motherfucker, because we is going to be shooting and going, oh Lord, I need to love on V Goddess. Hey, V Goddess. Hey, yeah.
Oh, and hey, Danny Lynn. I love me some Danny Lynn. I've been seeing her for a long time.
Danny Lynn be on.
And then I heard Danny Lynn could sing.
Oh yeah, Danny Lynn can sing. I heard she could give OG Patrice a run for her money, but we ain't here to contest. We ain't here to do it.
She ain't been smoking a pack of Newports a day or nothing.
That's the Jag syndrome. She ain't got the Jag syndrome. She
ain't remixing jazz and beatboxing.
No, she don't do that. Danny Lynn, what do you sing? Do you sing gospel or R&B? Because I be feeling like you be singing, tearing up that eye on the sparrow. What's your genre of choice, Danny Lynn? Because I just heard through the grapevine excuse me, she could give OG Patrice a run for her money, but that's the topic for
I
another
already
day.
know. Like, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I could sing, I just don't sound good. Okay, I can sing, I just do not sound good. I sound like the best Billy Goat you gonna ever hear. Mm-hmm.
Wait, she said,
I sing anybody underneath the table. It just won't sound pretty. I mean, it just won't sound good.
oh, oh. So you saying you got the courage, you got the confidence, but what comes out just ain't. Yeah, yeah.
It sound like a freaking chalk going down the chalkboard. but but I can sing.
Oh. Well, at least you're self aware. At least you're self aware.
Yeah,
That's all.
yeah. I'm gonna give you a Grammy. Yeah. And I'm a rapper, okay? Because like I be playing about this series. I've been shot before, so I'm like 50 Cent. So I'm coming out with a mixtape.
Oh, not 50.
Yeah, I'm
Not
being
not
yeah.
G Unit.
They call
Not
me
D
D Murder.
Unit.
After I got shot, they started calling me D Murder. So I was gonna come out with my mixtape and stuff. I was gonna be like, "Hey, I'm D Murder. I done did things y'all ain't never heard of." I was gonna get out there. I was gonna step out on faith, but y'all not ready for me yet.
Oh,
Y'all
you
not
are
ready for
truly
that
every
chalkboard
woman.
singing. Y'all not ready for me.
Mm-mm-mm.
Shoot.
Dazzle is every woman.
And Nicki
Dazzle is
Minaj took
truly
all
every
my
woman.
rhymes. She stole all my lyrics. She stole all my songs.
Wait a minute, what?
That's that.
Lord, not Nikki stole your
I'm gonna go
lyrics.
on Tasha K and be like, yes, they stole my artistic work.
What type of what type of paintings do you paint?
Look, I'm like Picasso, okay? Some people see a painting of a house, but they ain't worried about the stuff surrounding the house and inside the house. The hell? Let me stop. That's how you know I've been on here for too long.
You a fool. Wait a minute. Last question, Dazzle, before we go. How do you receive your readings when you read someone? Do you receive it through your senses? Do you receive it through visions? What do you get spoken to? The spirit come to you? Give us a little context.
Okay, I will tell you the context. Okay, so with me, I am an intuitive reader. Hold on one second. Lex, you are not going outside. I let you outside already. You are not the boss of me. Okay. You are my child. I am not yours. I had to tell my dog that. I'm sorry. But look, so yeah, so what I do is that I'm an intuitive reader. Okay. So take that on intuition. But the best thing about reading tarot and tapping into your divine, your intuition, your higher self, things like that to relay messages, is that the first thing you need to do is that you need to open up, you need to have fun. Like, how a conversation with me and you, the way I do my readings, I'm having a conversation with you. We're laughing and stuff, and I'm reading you, right? So I'm getting your energy. I'm getting what you want to know and stuff. And it's kind of like lighthearted. It can be a little heavy if you ask for heavy questions and stuff. But I tend to pull from my crown chakra and stuff like that, But it's just that it comes out. And the more comfortable I am with reading, and because it's about confidence too. That's the biggest thing. You gotta have some type of confidence. So the more comfortable you are, the better. Well, I am, the better my reading. So like I said, when I talk to people like on the phone, like if we're doing phone readings, we're having a conversation like this. And I'm telling you, and I'm someone who's in depth, like especially I would never pull any cards and not tell you what they mean and not tell you why I'm saying what I'm saying. And then when you're in the groove and stuff, you also got to understand that even with tarot, you have illustrations and stuff. And when you pick up on those illustrations, it's kind of like you do tap in. So it really does mix in with what you're talking about and what message you're trying to relay. And then things just start coming out. Like I remember when I first started like reading on YouTube, right? And it was around the time that Cardi B and Nicki Minaj fought, right? They got into it, right? Now, mind you, I had spread 3 cards out, and I had Queen of Swords looking at a Queen of Wands, and they were both in the reverse, and they was looking at each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, them hoes gonna fight because because if you know what the Queen of Swords is in the reverse, that bitch is gonna curse you out. And if you know what the Queen of Wands is in the reverse, they prone to be someone who curse you out, but also be someone who basically could be a big bitch to you, but could also fight you too. Because Wands is like your movement and stuff. Swords is more like communication, right? So I'm like,
how do you can you detect which one is which? How do you like from left to right?
Come to find out, and you got to know a bit of astrology too, right? Come to find out, Cardi B was a Libra and Nicki Minaj is a Sagittarius. Swords
Libras, okay.
Swords is air signs. Swords is Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. And Wands is fire signs. Sagittarius, Leo, and what the hell? Aries.
What the hell?
What the hell? Aries, right? So I had looked and I'm like, them girls want to fight. No, the way those two attitudes,
some type of altercation.
It's gonna be something, right?
Yeah.
And when I posted it, it was so many people in my comment section, about like 30 people calling me stupid, don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, whatever. Felt bad, right? And my confidence, I was like, damn, I deleted the video. Do you not know? A couple of days later, there we go.
Why you let them bully you, Dazzle?
And after that, I said, fuck everybody. I got bullied. But that's about confidence. Sometimes you don't know what the hell you saying, because I didn't know they was going right. I mean, I ain't know, but I'm just telling you what it looked like based on what the hell going on in these cars. Somebody gonna get into it.
Right.
Somebody's gonna get into it, right?
And so now, last and final question. So do you you truly believe in the cards and yourself? And most of all yourself?
Yes, because guess what? It's all about, when you're reading tarot and stuff, people don't understand that. Like, it's really like guidance in a way, but it's all about tapping into your higher self. And it's giving you confidence, right? Because tarot is nothing but predicting something that could happen based on the route that you're going, right? And how you can try to fix it, make it better, or, you know, any advice you can get to your life. But it's really about self-empowerment. Honestly speaking, like, the from the day I started tarot, reading tarot and oracle, all the way up till today, I will tell you that it really did empower me in a lot of ways. Like, I learned a lot about me, right? Because it's like you get more clear as you get older. It's just like being a doctor or a nurse. You know, you go back to school, you do this, that, and the third. You get better with age. You know what I'm saying? With experience. The more experience you gain, the better you get. It's like a muscle. Your intuitive muscle you're building. So you tend to learn a lot about yourself, and to be more technical, you tend to, I'll be honest, you tend to see things as they are after a while. That makes sense? Like,
I never heard no one break it down like that.
Like, you tend to see things as they are. And the other thing is, if you have a mental illness, or if you're like one of those people who are deep into conspiracy and stuff, you're going to read like that, right? You're going to think things are different, right? Because I even taught other people how to read, right? And I found out the hard way that some people are not ready to do that, because they don't, like, for instance, right? I know it was this one girl, you know, I was teaching them how to read and stuff, and things are not as whatever as they seem, right? Because for some reason she really wanted to do what I wanted to do. So, you know, I started helping her. And then, you know, one day, because she felt like what I was doing, she couldn't do it how I did it. So now she got to go jump on something else. It's people that's looking for stuff, right? That's looking for something to save them or to answer their questions, or whatever the case may be. Mind you, she ended up saying, well, I can't get spirituality right, so let me go ahead on and make a hard left and become a real devout Christian, right? So she started doing stuff like, even though like the devil card, that don't mean like the devil per se. It's a Capricorn. It means deviant behavior, whatever. But you started like she started like picking it apart and putting it where it don't need to be sometimes. And I think a lot of people do that, right? So then she just started calling it evil and da 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 da. I'm like, are you serious? But then she started overly judging people, and I'm like, well, God don't want you to judge nobody the way you judging them, knowing that your life ain't right either. Like, you know, you looking at them like that, but they don't see it like that, right? So you got that going on. Then you got the other part where when I first started reading, I'm gonna tell you the truth. When you first start reading, sometimes like you put your own opinions in it, right? So for instance, like I used to practice with my dad when I first started being a reader. And he told me one day that when you're reading me, you're not reading me honestly. You're telling me how you feel about me, right? And I'm like, what do you mean? I got defensive. But as I got older and I read my dad, as I got like better and, you know, I progressed, he was like, one day he asked me to do a reading for him and I did it. And he was like, you actually got so much better. You know, because initially when I first started, he was like, you were judging me. This time, you're just telling me what it is and telling me what I couldn't. You know what I'm saying? You're giving me a polished, legit, honest reading, right? And even with my cousin, like, she wanted to start being a reader, and she's actually good at it, but however, she needs more practice. But I can't tell her that because she gets defensive, right? Because she's in that defensive stage. So at one point, you know, I was like, well, I shoot something at her, right? And basically, I just shot something. I was like, because this is around the time like last year, my mom had a heart attack and I was going through everything all at once, had a miscarriage and everything else, right? So I was like, well, yeah, you know, I'm not sorry about it because it's lessons, it's things, it's cycles. I mean, it's life, right?
Yes, yes, indeed.
So basically, you know, I just do something at her because we'd call each other on the phone and be like, hey, let's do a reading on this or do a reading on that, right? You know, and then we'll use it to get the gossip too, you know, just having a good little time. So I just asked her, I said, yeah, can you just do a reading on me and tell me what I need, what direction I need to go? Like, what is this all trying to teach me? What's the grander things of things? And instead of her, I'm listening to her on the card she pulled. And instead of her, because I didn't read myself already about, you know, whatever cards that she pulled, right? Because she was telling me, oh, I got the Queen of Wands, and you know, I got the World and the this and the that, right? And I'm like, okay, I already know what some of this stuff, what those cards mean. So I get the synopsis of what you about to tell me, right? But she goes left, right, and start telling me how she feel about me. She was like, you think you would know it all, and it ain't about that. I'm like, what the fuck? Bitch, I'm asking you about what I'm supposed to be learning this. Like, you telling me, I think, how the fuck do any of them cards say that shit?
Like, maybe she felt your energy, Dazzle.
No. I'm asking.
Hey, Marcella.
No, but here's what I'm saying. I knew what those cards were saying. But she's in a phase that she's, like I told you, that she's
from her opinion, just like you.
Yeah, she was speaking from an opinion like I was doing when I was first starting. But I know that people get like very sensitive when they're starting something new. And I know that, like, you know what I'm saying? That's just like if you start something, right, and somebody's telling you you might be doing this wrong, you might need to work on that. Some people get sensitive and get upset and don't want to do it no more. And she's one of those people.
They get discouraged. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so instead of me just going ahead and tell her that nigga, that's not what none of those cards mean. You picking up cards and telling me this and this not that. So the whole time I said, well, that's how honest. To me, I was like, well, that's how you kind of feel about me. You got some type of resentment towards me, girl. Like, and that led to a conversation later on down the line, but I just let her get whatever she had to get off. Because it sounded like resentment, competition, competitiveness, something I ain't got shit to do with it. I'm going to ask you about what's going on with me.
But aren't you supposed to go to someone you don't know? Like someone,
No, No, that don't have to
Not
always
it's
be.
not rules to it, but I'm saying isn't like best to go to like someone.
No, it's best to go to someone. Okay, if you're going to go to somebody and if you're going to pay for it, okay, just to be honest, it's best to go to someone who didn't just start.
Right, true.
And so basically, I was dealing with my relative who was just starting at the time, right? Later on down the line, I helped her hone some of those, you know. You see what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, girl, hold on, wait. But we had to get past that little secret competitive resentment stuff that was going on. And that's what came out for you see what I'm saying? That was her in the beginning. Is she doing that now? No, it's totally different. She's better now. She's getting better. She's stretching those intuitive muscles and stuff. So it takes time. But if you are going to get a reading for somebody, I mean for yourself, you probably don't want to get a reading from somebody who just started a month ago.
Right. Now who's some people that you consider polished people of the of the tarot world?
Okay, for me,
or some people you look at and say, oh, they know what they're doing.
Okay, so I have like talked to and been in conversation with and did collabs with different people, right? And I also watch a lot of tarot readers and stuff. So it was this dude named A Vicious. He used to come on in the middle of the night, right? And he used to do like free readings and stuff like that. But he was really accurate and stuff like that. Very accurate. He doesn't come on YouTube no more. He's on the I don't know if he's on somewhere else, and he does some like gaming stuff. But he was really good. Who else? When the last time I haven't really had a real reading from anybody online in a long time. But I do like Africana, the Bruja Africana show. She's funny and she tell it how it is. I like her. I do like the Three Hoodoo Sisters. I like them. I like who else? I do like Wisdom and Light. I watch her. I do like who else? It's a couple. Let me go ahead and look at my phone because I know for a fact I watch way too much tarot. What else? I like Aphrodite. It's a lot of readers that I feel like are good, and they've been doing it for a long time on YouTube, especially, right? And I also like Blue Nola Tarot. Actually, she was actually on YouTube after me, and I remember when she started, and then she just started blowing up. Now she got like 30K or whatever subscribers, and she's really good. So I mean, it depends. It depends on the person. Like I watch Mama Red and things like that. But
are you familiar with Tracy Brown?
Yeah, I'm familiar with Tracy Brown. I follow her too, right? So I remember when she said that Super got poisoned by one of her friends. Or something like that, right? But look, honestly speaking, when I do get readings, I like readers who aren't. You said, do you like Brittany the Cosmic Wifey? Let me go ahead and see something. But I like readers who aren't really heavy on conspiracy, right? I don't want to hear, like, if I'm asking you about what's going on, like, as far as, like, oh, when am I going to get, like, a new job or something? Oh, you got a hex on you and da-da-da. I don't want to hear none of that. No.
Ooh, don't make me
clock out immediately. I clock out.
You clock out after that.
Or like when they tell me that I got evil, of course you got evil eyes. There's always gonna be a hater looking at you all crazy and shit. They talk about you need a cleanse. You need a cleanse all the damn time. You walk around in the world, especially if you ain't got no car.
And I feel like that's how they be trying to get money.
Yeah, see, I don't want to hear that. I want to hear something different. But I'll tell you what though. It was this other reader that she is no longer, it was Pop Culture Tarot or something like that. This was when I first started, and she was in the service, but she was like Caribbean, right? And honestly speaking, she actually did the best online reading from YouTube I ever had. Okay, she told me, right? Remember I told you that I was dealing with my DV situation, got out of that, ended up marrying my husband. She was like, first of all, it's going to be between two men. It's going to be one. It's going to be one that's not good for you, but the other one is much older than you, right? And the person that you're going to have kids by is the one that you're going to marry, right? And I'm like, okay, whatever. Right? Like saying all this stuff. She was like, you got a choice at the time. And when I mean by like, when I look back at it, every single thing she actually said was true. I ended up leaving that little mess, that trash, and that mess.
And look how you be downplaying. You be downplaying the blessings or the affirmations instead of receiving them.
No, I receive them and stuff, but I'm like, well, me, I'm like, yeah, it is. It's happening. A lot of stuff is happening that I didn't know was going to happen. But you know, the best readings I ever had, I can tell you that everything they said ended up happening.
Mm-hmm.
And then even down to like, for instance, and then mind you, we be having drama on the spiritual side of YouTube too. So just like y'all be beefing on the Black Tea sector, they be beefing over there too.
I know.
Okay, they be beefing, and they be trying
all
to,
sectors.
What is that? They be trying to gang stop. They have like a Discord, and they be calling themselves witches, sending bad magic and stuff to they op.
That's a shame.
And then they be sitting there looking at they op live, waiting on something to go wrong, or them to say something bad happening to them, so they can say,
right.
I did that. I put that hex on you. I put that spell work on you, bitch.
Mm-hmm. Are you familiar with Quintita D? She quick to say that.
Yes. I love me some Quintita D. I love the way she read. Because first of all, Jaguar Wright got a lot of her shit from Quintita D. Okay, because she used to watch her before she ever came on the YouTube space and started saying all this shit.
Yeah.
So Gag like
quick to get a reading.
Yeah. So, but see, here's what I will say again. Here is the problem with conspiracy shit. If you have any type of mental illness, you're going to take this shit and wrap it up in your mental illness to make it make sense. That makes sense?
Yeah, to some sort of degree. I get it, but for the people in the back, go ahead and expound on that a little bit.
Okay. For instance, you think somebody's watching you and chasing you or some shit, right? You're dead serious. Somebody's watching me. Right? And so you have a reader who's going to tell you, right? And I don't know why, but they'll tell you, yeah, you've been being stalked, right? You're being watched, right? So now that plays into your mental illness, but in fact, you have a fucking YouTube channel and motherfuckers is watching you on live and following you. Of course, they're fucking watching you. What the fuck are you talking about? You see what I'm saying? In context.
Oh my God. You know what? I'm weak.
Yeah.
Not literally.
Or you sit there and don't hold that person accountable. And a lot of times when you have people, like, you get certain people that want readings from you that ask the same question over and over again, thinking that you're gonna get the same motherfucking answer. Oh, I mean, you not the same answer.
And we gotta take into consideration when you keep partaking in the same behavior and you expect different results out of your life, right? Or being the same person, vibrating at the same level, not learning from your experiences and wondering why these same experiences keep happening.
Why these spiritual advisors and tarot advisors are not telling you.
They got that in the church nowadays, Dazzle.
When they don't tell you, it's everywhere. When they don't tell you what you're doing, it's everybody else but you. Or, but I noticed even when Quintita was doing the reading for Jaguar, it was some stuff Quintita was saying, just like when she did a reading for Legina Gold, it was certain stuff that she was saying that was a direct thing for them, and they didn't accept it. They didn't want to accept it in some ways.
Right.
So you want to hear about Prince and fucking Jay-Z and who they're fucking and who they're not fucking, if they're gay, if they fucked up their money. But the whole time there's a real message for you that's
right.
How that's
stopping your life about that will that will help your well-being. Yeah.
Yeah, but you're not accepting that. You want to listen to the other shit that feed into your psychosis. And then you have readers who read and they shouldn't be readers. Like, for instance, like, you know,
that coddle you. Are you saying that coddle you?
No, not just coddle you. Know, I'll give you another example. Like, I remember I called the psychic hotline, right? And so basically, the girl, right, she's reading me, right? But then she picks up, because they always pick up I'm some type of spiritual. I read tarot. I got some type of spiritual abilities. They always do that to me. They pick that shit up real quick. But they just don't know how, right? They was like, do you do something? Are you? And I'm like, maybe. But I tell them in the end. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So basically, I'm like, okay. So she's like, oh, we have to work together. You do something. You work with spirit. I know you do. Right? And I'm like, what are you talking about? So by the end of it, I told her. So then she's like, no, get my personal number and we can link up and stuff. She was in the DMV area. I'm from DC, right? And she like, yeah, we can meet up and stuff like that, right? So then, you know, I was talking to her off the psychic hotline and stuff. We were just talking, right? But then she started like asking, like kind of bum rushing me with her friends to ask me to do readings on them. I'm like, nah, I don't really feel like doing that, right? So then, you know, I kind of felt away because we was going to meet up for brunch at Carolina Kitchen, right? And I don't mind that, you know, so I'm always into meeting other readers and stuff, right? Because it can be a lonely place when you don't know nobody but you doing it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, so
right.
But if I'm not really comfortable with this, you trying to put me on the spot and read for your friend and this friend and that friend, I got to be in a place to do that, right? But then I started getting like weird vibes. Right. So I actually did do a reading. She was like, what's my intentions? What is my intentions for you? Right. Mind you, she had somebody on three-way on mute. So
and that's a weird question.
Yeah.
And that's a weird question.
So when I pulled out that shit threw me off. I said, you know what? I don't trust your intentions. Fuck you. Right. Immediately said that based on the spread.
Go for the blow.
Fuck you, right? So that's when the motherfucker that she initially wanted me to read started speaking that was on, you know, mute. And I said, basically, right? Then she was like, well, that's not what that was. So I hung up on him. So she texted me and was like, oh, you know, you're not no real reader because that's not what that was. I wanted you to join our group and this, that, and the third. Right? And I'm like, bitch, get the fuck out of my face, right? So, mind you, I already knew, like, I already had the knowledge that I was going to have a miscarriage, right? Later on in the future, right? Never didn't say anything to nobody about it, but I already knew that, right? So she's trying to read on me and stuff. She was like, that's why your baby's going to die, right? So I said, well, bitch, first of all, now here's why I fucked her up at. So this is why I fucked her up at, right? No, this is why I fucked it up at. The whole time I lied, right? I said, well, shit, I already had the baby. Well, that's not right. So that's when she started scrambling. She was like, well, I read the cards. It was, you was supposed to have. I said, well, that's what the fuck you get, bitch. And since you talking shit about a baby that I'm not going to have, do you realize, bitch, you done told me about the fact that your mama won't let you have your baby because you tried to commit suicide before, bitch. You done told me this shit. But see, I don't bring up nothing about people. You know, when you want me to read for you or some shit, I'm not going to throw it against, so I'm not gonna put that against you and stuff. So I was like, yeah, that's why your mom is right about you. That's why your mama don't want you nowhere near your fucking baby. You're evil, right? So so basically, for a time, I had to block her because she would send me emails and stuff talking about, oh, we're doing work on you so you can lose your baby. Crazy.
Oh, she was a demonic, evil spirit, and it was an envious spirit.
Envious and demonic, nigga. You felt you see my little light, and I ain't fucking with nobody. I'm being all nice. I'm jittery. I'm all whatever. Can I curse you out? Yes, I can. Can I go to hell with you? I absolutely can. And mind you, and that's the same spirit. Now, mind you, if you want to be into spirituality and spirits, that's the same spirit that went into another girl. My next door neighbor. Whole time I gotta unprivate that video, but it's that same demonic spirit. It's always like when you get a breakthrough, or when I get like a breakthrough, or when something's coming, it's like the evil in people, the jealousy in people get heightened for some reason. And I realized that, right?
You know how to do you do protection. You know how to protect yourself.
Yes. But honestly speaking, jealous people are jealous people.
Yeah, and you can't help
to be honest with you, I'm fully protected. I'm totally fine. I know I'm going to be fine. I know Dez is going to be great. Okay? On the real note, I know I'm always going to be okay.
Rebuke that. You got to rebuke it.
Yeah, you rebuke it. But I find it funny that I'd rather rattle your demon and let it out than to let it be hidden.
Yeah. Ooh.
So
I understand why you say that too.
I'd rather
know what you're up against.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. You would think I live a regular ass life. And this is I'm all talk. I live like I tell anybody else. If like first of all, when Cain killed Abel, before he even killed Abel, when Abel was jelly when Cain was jelly of Abel's favor because God loved his sacrifice more than Cain. God basically told Cain, if you do what Abel do, you can get what Abel got. But instead of him wanting to slaughter a lamb, he'd rather kill his brother. Right? But I told that to anybody. I'm not living some fucking precious ass luxurious life. I'm living a regular life. And whatever I can do, you can do. Like you can read, like Kai, if you wanted to read tarot, you can be a tarot reader. Anybody can be a tarot reader. Kai, if you want to have a job, a 9-to-5 job, you can have a 9-to-5 job. If you want a place, you can get a place. If you want a car, you can get a car. If you want to have kids, you can have sex with somebody and get them pregnant and have kids. Whatever I did, you can do it. So,
right. Are you familiar with, Chris? You said that anybody can read tarot and,
yeah, anybody can.
Are you familiar with Teresa Caputo?
Teresa Caputo.
Caputo. She's a.
Oh, you talking about the Long Island medium?
Yeah.
Well, that's mediumship. Mediumship and tarot is a.
How does that differ? I know. I'm just saying. Okay. How does it differ?
Tarot is a tool of divination. It's a divination tool. Okay.
Okay.
When you're a psychic medium, you don't need a tool. You can use a tool to ground it, but you don't necessarily need a tool at all.
Do you consider one stronger than the other, or more divine than the other?
Okay. I consider all things, any gift, I consider it as a muscle. Right? Yes. So you can be psychic, right? You can see spirits, right? And I can be an intuitive reader. You could be afraid of your gift, but you still have it, but you're afraid of it, so you're not going into it and strengthening that muscle. But I can be strengthening my muscle in tarot, so I may do a little bit better than you. But you see what I'm saying? So it depends. It really is. It depends on what you're doing. If you're if you're expanding what you're doing or if you're trying to suppress what you're doing. You see what I'm saying? So it's just like Dragon Ball Z. Think about
it. That's a strange analogy, but when you do think about it, it is.
Vegeta and Goku, right? Vegeta can surpass Goku, but he got to work at it. Just like it's at times where Vegeta could have been stronger than Goku, and it's times where Goku is stronger than Vegeta. But Goku, I mean, it depends. It depends. Power fluctuates. That's how I look at it. But you know, people
thought of it like that.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. Like, to be honest, it depends on if you're working on your gifts.
That's the truth. That is the truth. And speaking of gifts, Trips Treasure Chest, love me some Trip says, I'm a spiritual advisor and work on the multiple psychic psychic hotline for the past 10 years. I've subscribed to your channel. I like your style. So you earned a new subscriber.
Thank you. New subscriber. Thank you. Oh my God, I sound like Maggie Child. But it just depends. Like, I stop. You know what it is? You know how when you go to, like, I don't know, amusement park for the first time, everything is like, look at that and look at that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you go by like 6, 7, 8 times in a row, have you ever been one of those kids? Like in DC, in the DMV, we had Six Flags, right? And the first time you go, I mean, you want to get on the Joker Jinx, you want to get on the Superman, you want to get on, all these rides, and you're like, oh, the first couple of times on the ride is exciting, it's mystic, it's I don't know, it's like being a kid in the candy store. But when you go to the amusement park, almost every day,
just like when you keep doing anything over and over again, you get accustomed to it, and sometimes you get tired of it. And up in, when I did live in New York, we had Coney Island and Dooney Park and stuff like that, and all that good stuff. But
it just becomes intricate in your life, and it's not no oohs and ahs no more. That's what I look at when it comes to tarot. Tarot actually is still fun to me because, technically speaking, like, for instance, that's why if you're especially a beginner tarot reader, the best thing to do is have a tarot deck with very vivid illustrations, right? Because basically it helps you tell a story. It helps you relay messages, right? So you'll get, like, especially, and mind you, it's almost like when you first start, it's almost like opening up a whole new door. And it's like you're just open. So when you get a hang of it, your first readings are on point. It's like you finally answered that phone and you typed in, and then you just getting all these messages. So your first readings are on point, like real bad.
You have tutorials on your channel?
What do I have? I have like meanings of cards. I have like little videos on how to store your cards and things like that. So I got a little bit of everything on my channel. I think I might get back
to doing tutorials.
I think. But now I think about it, I got this thing called Planet Dazzle. That it's like a I put it as like a little playlist. Because I've been on my channel for a minute. I'm not even gonna hold you. So a lot of times I just do a lot of fun stuff on my channel, and like I said, it's like a muse, a hobby, and things like that. So I'll talk about the major arcana, the minor arcana, how to put things together. Mind you, I even had a thing where it comes to like how to journal your tarot readings and stuff, and I'll do like little tarot readings and things like that in the tarot journal and set it up like that. Like, it's really cool. So it's different stuff. So I got a lot of content on my channel. And you know that I do it because I like to do it.
Right. So it sounds like it's a calling for you.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I like doing little stuff. Like I don't know, like I when I don't know how, but I
Or
just
it's just, or is it a fad to you? Is
no, it's
this a
not a fad.
fad to you,
It's
or
been here for years. Okay,
okay?
I've been doing this for years. So it's kind of like
Oh,
when I started, it was almost like I. It's not like I picked up something. It didn't feel foreign. It's like I
mm.
was supposed to be doing it. That makes sense.
Uh, yes, that does. That makes a lot of sense. It
It felt
means
good.
that it was something. It was a second nature to you. It
Yes.
came natural. It was so. How long was tarot
Yeah,
around?
she like what
Do
Trips
you
Treasure Chest said.
is
Like,
tarot a new practice? Is
oh
tarot a
hell
new
no,
practice,
Sarah
or
been out for so goddamn long. Matter of fact, if you ever look
how
at the,
long?
it's been around for a long time. Matter of fact, divination tools itself been out. Humans
Now,
been
I am familiar with divinations and all that good stuff. Trip
divination.
says,
Tarot is part of divination. Okay, but
mm,
humans
like
have
what
been
is it a
using
part of
tools.
Ifa?
Okay,
Is tarot like a part of Ifa or Yoruba?
okay. Let me rewind it. Okay, if you're talking about tarot is a tool, right?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
have
yeah,
different tools that are part of
yeah.
divination.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you have things like throwing of the bones. You have dice. You have different things that are tools that can be a tool for divination, right? Even playing cards can be a tool for divination. It's just a tool, okay, for the message can come through, right? It's a tool. Humans been doing that since the dawn of humanity. Tools. You have even tribes. Tribes have even the chief of a tribe have a tool for divination, right? It's just to get you. I like to say it's to get you connected in a way. That makes sense.
Yes, yes. And
So
some might argue that the Bible is a divination tool.
yes, yes, the Bible has spells in it. Psalms.
I'm familiar. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, matter of fact, I have a prayer book of Psalms. Prayers can be spells. Yes.
Mhm.
Matter of fact, I mean communion
You better talk to us
is
on
a
today. You
ritual.
better teach us something.
But yeah, but Trips
You better
Tragic
teach us
Chest is
something,
right.
Dad.
Tarot's been around for over 100 years, okay? And it started as a game. It started as a card
Wow.
game. Mm-hmm.
Are you for real, Dazzle? Started at the game. To
Yes, the
seek out
Bible.
future things, unbeknownst things.
No, actually, it wasn't even like. Do you know like your playing cards can be tarot cards? You like people in yeah, it's all that.
That's why and cards are used to make money.
Yeah.
Some might
Like
say, you know,
when you make like any tool of divination, like altar money, like people make altar money, like to put on their altar and stuff to bring in
oh, for
money.
their ancestors and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
ancestral money and stuff. That can be a tool of divination in a way. Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Different
Mhm.
things. I mean,
For the
I
people
mean,
out there in the back that don't know what divination is, in a few words, what is divination?
well, if you break the word down, is divine, right? So
Yes,
for
indeed, yes, indeed.
if I'm just going to be technical, I think it is a practice to reach the divine.
Mm, mm.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I like that. I like how you put that. A practice to reach the divine.
And what is the
Hey,
divine?
Luna's Blade. The
Hey,
divine
y'all.
is to me is the most high. The divine to me is
But
God.
the Most High is
Some
in
people have
you.
different names.
God put a piece of His all spark in you. So that's what I call like whole time. I like to reference stuff like Transformers, the all spark. That's what God put in you. the all spark. Part of him is in you. Part of source is in you. So therefore, a lot of times when you're doing these things, you're tapping into source. Mm-hmm. And mind you, if you look it up on YouTube, tarot has been around for the 14th, 15th century. I think it came over from Asia or something like that because they were doing card games like that in Asia, and then I think it went to France or something like that. But I forgot verbatim, but I be looking up history and stuff. But but to be honest, like I actually felt at home doing it. And then, like I said, like I would practice with my dad at first. At first, I was like doing like words with friends, like oracle cards. Like I made my own oracle cards, and I start with my dad, and then I built it up, and started doing tarot. Right. So then I start with my dad with that. So me and him got the same birthday. We're the same kind of people. We like anime, we like comic books, all types of stuff. So
cool.
it wasn't really that surprising when I can tell my dad like, yeah, I read tarot.
That's surprising. He even knew what tarot was, though.
Oh yeah, he knew. he knew. So let me tell you. So the one time I did a reading, and mind you, sometimes like you don't get everything from a reading at once. Sometimes it's okay to make a spread, like, and keep it there and just look at it, meditate on it, leave, come back to the spread, look at what you see and stuff like that, right? And sometimes like your predictions don't happen like you think it's going to happen, right? Like for instance, you remember when Jay-Z was going through his stuff, right? So you had all these people predicting the downfall of Jay-Z and stuff like that. Oh, he's going down. He's going down. This, that, and the third. Like all the cards is like he's going down. He's gonna lose his wife, but lose his empire. First of all, what I got
down.
Yeah, that this Jane Doe and all this other stuff that was coming out was the end of him, right? But here's the thing that I got when I was reading, right? I got like, I don't think he going down for no female. Out of anything, if y'all want him to go down, y'all need to worry about what he invests in and what he do money wise. Honestly, it would be some type of business shit. You know what I'm saying? Money thing going on with him, right? Because for some reason, everybody think everybody in the industry is raping and pillaging or some shit, which is not necessarily true. It's just not. It's not even realistic.
It's a lot of money laundering, a lot of all of that going on.
So basically, he ended up getting, because they was already predicting this before it happened, right? But the real thing that happened was he had Tony Bugsby out here, an ambulance chaser, basically, extorting him and putting these bogus ass, and can't nobody tell me no different, bogus ass victims. And mind you, I'm so tired of people saying victim. First of all, they're accusers initially. When you have a civil suit and you're accusing somebody of doing stuff, in the eyes of the law, you're not a victim yet. You are an accuser. So I don't know why people just come out and keep, oh, that's their victims. It's his victims are coming. No, those are his accusers coming out. Okay. So you had all these accusers coming out and it just fell flat because they were lying. So I'm like, well, his reputation may have gotten messed up a little bit and he doesn't look as squeaky clean no more, but he didn't die. That's what I got from that. So sometimes people like read stuff and I think that, they read it, but they don't know how bad or good it's going to turn out. Like, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I definitely do.
It really wasn't that bad. And mind you, Jane Doe was lying like hell. She was lying.
That's the thing. If you say some things with enough conviction and things add up enough, it'll get passed.
Believe it.
Yeah.
But I think that, if we just want to really get people on stuff, we just got to be honest. If you be real and be honest, and think about it realistically, you can get people on a lot of stuff. Realistically, Jay-Z is not raping bitches left and right. Realistically, you probably want to see what his businesses are doing, because even the stuff with what was this radio thing?
The
Service that he had.
title.
Title. It was
Yeah,
some funny stuff with Title going on. So if it's, and you know what I'm saying, that look a little shady. So I'm like, well, how come y'all don't see that and talk about that? Why is it all of a sudden he's raping some random 13-year-old white girl with autism who traveled? I'm not gonna get into that.
because they want to quick to prosecute people and put them in jail for a very, very, very long time. And some of these artists or former artists.
A palmistry. I am actually thinking of learning palmistry. I got the stuff to do it. I just need time. My introduction and stuff, my practice palm and stuff. I just gotta take the time and actually start learning.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a couple of things I want to do, but I'm actually, to be honest with you, I'm gonna tell you something funny though. And mind you, earlier on, about like 3 hours ago, and I'm gonna end it with this, right? Don't let everybody read for you though. Okay. Oh, some real stuff, because everybody don't have good intentions, right?
Yeah.
Some people want to put fear in your heart. Some people, they want to put their sickness on you. That's what I was talking about. Like, they put their own shit on you. Like when my cousin.
That's a word.
Like, for instance, that girl Grace, who was reading for Jaguar, she was putting her sickness on people. And come to find out, her ass was Lizzie Borden. Come on now.
What you saying? She was Lizzie what?
Borden. You know the one that asked her daddy why he was sleeping stuff on the couch.
You stupid.
I mean, yeah. So that's an example of being wary about who you let read for you. Or like even the example I was talking about, the lady I met on the hotline, on the psychic hotline, that just had to be cool with me outside of that. Yeah, you gotta watch for people like that. But guess what? But see, here's the thing. If she was really a genuine reader and she had good things in mind, she wouldn't have been worried about that miscarriage. Because guess what? I was supposed to have like 3 more kids. I'm pregnant right now.
Wow.
You ain't talk about the other kids afterwards. You thought you was just gonna hurt me with that one kid.
Oh hell no! These bitches.
But you see what I'm trying to tell you?
You gotta watch out, girl. You definitely gotta watch out.
Don't let everybody read on you. And mind you, they're gonna do it anyway. But if you're, especially when it comes to like celebrity readings and stuff, sometimes some people, you can tell the biased readers from the unbiased readers. And to be honest,
you gotta be careful with opening. You also got to be careful with opening yourself up too.
Yeah. I got stories about that. I learned how to look.
But what's up? But let me ask you this: what's up with people asking for people to send pictures for readings and shit? Can't they do the readings without sending pictures?
Okay, now here it is though. You have some people who read by visual, right? Some people don't need tarot; they can do visual readings. Like some people, their psychic abilities. Thank you. Their psychic abilities like tap in when they can see somebody. It's no difference than when a bloodhound, they need to pick up a scent. Okay, so
just like when someone wants to trauma bomb with someone. Speaking of disgrace.
Yeah, so like for instance, like you'll have like psychics sometimes who might need to be in the certain area to pick up the vibrations and the energy of that area. Sometimes you need a psychic to walk into your house to pick up what's going on in your house. sometimes, right? Sometimes they need to be in a certain area. Sometimes they need like a piece of clothing. Maybe they need a picture. You have certain abilities that may need that. Yeah. But it depends. Some people like I don't know. I just think about it. Some people need that extra thing, right? But then you have other people who might just want to get your picture or get your information to do something chicey.
You make a good point. You make a good point.
But like, and then you gotta be, and then you know what I did see though in this sector though. I'm not even gonna lie, and this is my last little example, right? It was this one lady who was soliciting spell work, right? And she
Mm.
was like, "Yeah, my spells work and this and the third. My magic work when I do work, right?" And she would get people. She would get like testimonials, and they'd send her pictures and stuff, right? So it was this testimonial she had, and she was like, "Oh, you did work for me, and basically, I wished harm on my boyfriend, and then I didn't want it no more, something like that." And she sent a picture of this heinous car crash, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that was part of the testimonial, like my magic worked, this, that, and the third. Come to find out, she got that picture offline. And she was basically a charlatan. She was lying. Yeah.
Wow. And these people just do this, I figure, for attention and then mask it as they're being spiritual. If they're not, I
Yes.
found like if they're not in the right headspace, it's not best for some people to do readings.
No. No. Like a few tips, don't keep asking the same question every single time. Stop going. And that's the one thing I do hate though. I hate for somebody to go from reader to reader, reader asking the same goddamn question. Yeah, people do be too thirsty and desperate. It's a money grab. Like spirituality, even in the church, is all a money. It's even in church, you do have leaders who want to lead, but then you have other people who can be, predatory. But that's in any type of belief based situation. So I couldn't just say it's just this part of the spectrum. It's other parts. Any type of belief based situation, you're gonna have somebody that's predatory. Even when
Mm-hmm.
it comes to conspiracy, you have some conspiracies that's absolutely real, but then you have predatory people who will be a part of the conspiracy sector only because it can be monetized and it's not really real. Some of the stuff they're saying is just not real. They're just feeding into your conspiracy thought and your paranoia. That's why I don't believe anybody who wants to make me scared. Anybody who wants to fear base me, I immediately don't really believe like that.
Basically bait you. Hey Shawnee Shami, I missed you, girl. Where the heck you been, girl? Oh Lord, Shawnee Shami became a member. That's my girl. I love you
Oh,
some Shawnee Shami. I missed you. I missed you indeed. It's so good to see your
yes.
face.
It's a lot of predators. But but I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
lie, it's good
true.
people and it's bad people. But I honestly think it's just not in one space. I feel like it's in all spaces everywhere. Even on YouTube right now, you have people that do a lot of clickbaiting and do a lot of lying, and then you have people who are honest and just giving honest opinions.
This is a Fendi fact. That's a Fendi fact, Dazzle. Love you more, Shawnee Shami, and thank you for becoming a member. Um, and they do. We got to do another segment on this, Dazzle, and we got to invite Trip up when we do it. So, but y'all stay tuned. Stay tuned. Y'all head on over and love on Dazzle. Support her.
Thank
She's a black
you.
woman doing her thing, doing her calling in this here tarot space. She gonna unlock me. as a new character in this whole what you call it, the
Yeah,
tarot
because it
sector.
sounds like, hold on, wait,
Slowly,
wait, wait. It sounds like you've been speaking for Diddy the whole time because the only male that's on the screen is Diddy.
you did me wrong, Dazzle. You did me wrong. You had me hiding this whole time. They only had seen your beautiful face and had me hiding behind you somewhere. I don't even know where I'm at. Put me on the thing again. Let them know I'm here. If you
I
can,
don't
let
know.
them know
I'm
I'm
gonna
here,
have to hold on. Let me see if I drop down if it'll show you. Now, if
Let
I
me see.
drop down and it show you, I'm dead.
No, it'll show me. It'll show me. Hold on. It'll show me. I know I'm in the show though. It
Yeah,
didn't
you
show
on the
me.
show, but goddamn, like,
I don't know.
okay,
I gotta give you a tutorial, and you gonna give me a tutorial on the damn tarot and the
we
stuff.
could do it. We could do it because
But
obviously this
well, we
damn
won't.
this stream y'all want me to have main character energy so bad.
You already got it. Shoot, forget stream, y'all. You are the main
Nah,
talent.
you got main
But
character energy.
I had
I
a
like
good
that.
time with you. We had a great conversation. Y'all catch the replay. It was awesome. It was awesome. We talked about a lot. We talked about Diddy. We talked about the tarot. We talked about Gag Liar and her disgrace. We talked about it all. Stay tuned, like, comment, and subscribe, and share, you guys. This was a quick little collabo of me and Dazzle. And Dazzle did her own thing preceding me when I came on here. So y'all stay tuned, and
All
check
right,
her out because she's awesome.
I love y'all for real.
Hey,
And I see y'all later.
peace.
Bye.
Love y'all. Peace.